In the quiet moments of life, when the noise of the world fades, we are often left alone with our thoughts, our worries, and our uncertainties. It is in those moments, those fragile silences, that the weight of fear and doubt can press upon us. Whether it is the shadow of an unknown future, the ache of a personal loss, or the overwhelming demands of daily life, fear has a way of settling into the corners of our hearts. But in the midst of such challenges, a promise stands eternal, unwavering, and powerful. The words of Isaiah 41 verse 10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. This verse is more than a string of comforting words. It is a declaration of divine assurance, a beacon of light in the darkest valleys. For centuries, these words have served as a lifeline to those who feel overwhelmed, a reminder that they are not alone. Today, we will explore the profound beauty of Isaiah 41 verse 10, its meaning, its promise, and how you can carry it with you in your daily life as a shield against fear and doubt. The promise of presence. Do not fear, for I am with you. Imagine a figure kneeling in prayer, illuminated by a soft, radiant light. The air is still, yet alive with an unseen presence, one that brings peace beyond understanding. This is the image of Isaiah 41 verse 10, a reflection of what it means to find comfort in God's promise. The words, do not fear, for I am with you, remind us of a foundational truth. We are never alone. In times of joy, in moments of sorrow, in struggles that seem insurmountable, God's presence is a constant. When life becomes overwhelming, the first instinct is often to retreat, to isolate ourselves in our worry. Fear has a way of whispering, you are alone. No one understands. No one can help you. But Isaiah 41 verse 10 boldly counters that lie with the truth. God declares, I am with you. These 4 words carry immeasurable power because they speak directly to the loneliness that fear creates. It is not an empty platitude but a sacred assurance that wherever we go, whatever we face, the Creator of the universe walks beside us. Think about the moments in your life when you felt completely alone. Perhaps it was a time of loss, an unexpected setback, or a quiet season of waiting. Now imagine hearing these words whispered to your heart. I am with you. How would that shift your perspective? Would you stand taller, breathe deeper, and trust a little more? The promise of God's presence is a gift that removes the power of fear. It transforms our solitude into companionship and our uncertainty into assurance. As you navigate the challenges of your day-to-day life, take a moment to pause, close your eyes, and whisper, God is with me. Let this truth settle into your soul, like sunlight breaking through a clouded sky, the strength beyond our own. I will strengthen you and help you. Fear often magnifies our weaknesses. It shouts, you're not strong enough. You can't handle this. You will fail. We have all felt the weight of those accusations, haven't we? Life demands so much from us. Responsibilities, decisions, and the constant pursuit of success or survival. Some days, it feels like we're carrying the world on our shoulders, struggling under a burden we were never meant to bear alone. But Isaiah 41 verse 10 brings a promise that changes everything. I will strengthen you and help you. These words are not a suggestion that you need to muster more strength on your own. They are a declaration that God will provide His strength to you. His strength is unshakable, infinite, and freely offered to those who seek it. Imagine a parent lifting a child who has fallen, their strong arms providing the support that the child cannot find alone. This is the image of God's help in our lives. We may stumble, we may feel weak, but God's strength is there to carry us forward. His help is not conditional on our perfection. It is rooted in His unchanging love for us. How does this truth change the way you face your fears? It reminds you that you do not need to rely on your own abilities to overcome life's battles. When the weight feels too heavy, when the path feels too long, whisper these words, God will strengthen me. God will help me. Trust that His strength will sustain you and His help will guide you. In practical terms, this means turning to God in prayer when you feel overwhelmed. It means asking for His strength to replace your weakness and trusting that He will show up. When fear says, "You can't do this," faith replies, "God will help me do what I cannot do on my own." Hold on to this promise and let it anchor you through the storms of life. The assurance of being upheld. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. There is something profoundly comforting about the image of being upheld. It is the assurance that even when we falter, we will not fall. God's promise to uphold us with his righteous right hand speaks to his faithfulness and power. In biblical imagery, the right hand often represents strength, authority, and victory. God's righteous right hand is a symbol of his ability to protect, guide, and sustain us. When he says, "I will uphold you," he is promising to keep us steady, secure, and safe. Think about the times in life when you felt like you were on the brink of collapse. Maybe it was financial stress, relational heartbreak, or a season of doubt. Fear thrives in these moments, convincing us that we will not make it through. But Isaiah 41 verse 10 reminds us that God is not a distant observer. He is an active participant in our lives. He is the one who upholds us when we are too weak to stand on our own. Picture yourself walking through a difficult path, feeling weary and unsure. Then imagine a strong hand reaching down, steadying you, and lifting you forward. That hand is God's righteous right hand, and it is always extended toward you. No matter how far you feel you have fallen, no matter how broken you believe you are, God's promise is to uphold you. Bringing Isaiah 41 verse 10 into your daily life. So how do we take the promise of Isaiah 41 verse 10 and live it out in our day-to-day lives? How can these ancient words of comfort become a practical source of strength and hope in the modern world? Start your day with the promise. Begin each morning by meditating on Isaiah 41 verse 10. Write it on a note, set it as your phone's wallpaper, or simply speak it aloud as a declaration over your day. Remind yourself that you do not need to face the day alone. God is with you. Pray with confidence. When fear begins to creep in, turn to God in prayer. Speak honestly about your struggles, and then declare his promise. God, I know you are with me. Strengthen me, help me, and uphold me with your righteous right hand. Prayer invites God's presence and power into your circumstances. Replace fear with faith. Fear thrives on lies and uncertainty, but faith thrives on truth. When fear whispers, "You are alone," reply with faith. "God is with me." When fear says, "You will fail," reply with faith. "God will strengthen me and help me." Make it a habit to speak faith over fear. Lean on God's strength. Acknowledge your weaknesses and invite God to be your strength. You do not have to carry everything alone. Trust that his help is sufficient for you, even when you feel unworthy or incapable. Share the promise with others. Isaiah 41 verse 10 is not just for you. It is a promise to be shared. When you see others struggling with fear, remind them of God's words. Your encouragement could be the light they need in their darkness. Conclusion. A life without fear. Isaiah 41 verse 10 is more than a comforting verse. It is a way of life. It is an invitation to live without fear, to face each day with confidence, and to trust in the unwavering presence and power of God. As you walk through your life, remember this. You are not alone. The God who created the heavens and the earth is with you. He will strengthen you. He will help you. He will uphold you. No matter what you face, his promises stand firm. So when fear comes knocking, when doubts rise like waves, and when the path ahead feels uncertain, pause and speak these words aloud. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Let these words settle into your heart, like an anchor in the storm. Let them light your path when the way feels dark, and let them remind you of this unshakable truth. You are held, you are loved, and you are never alone. Walk forward in faith, my friend, for the one who holds the world in his hands holds you, too.